What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get into this one really quickly. Now, guys, it is the eve before the big card on Showtime tomorrow night. Everything's set to take place at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., guys. Like I said, it's a stacked card. The co-main event, Jaron Boots Ennis, guys. This is his first time doing a pay-per-view, and he's a knockout artist as well, like Gervonta Tank Davis. So this ought to be an interesting card. Of course, we have Demetrius Andrade leading off the card. We have Rashidi Ellis on the card. It's just going to be a night of great fights. So make sure you guys tune in to Showtime. Make sure you check your local listings for the fight time in your area. Now, they did have the weigh-in today, so I want to go over the weigh-ins of both of the main event fighters, Gervonta Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia. This fight is highly anticipated by, real hardcore boxing fans, in my opinion, as well as casuals, because let's face it, Gervonta Tank Davis is somewhat of a household name now. Everybody knows who Gervonta Tank Davis is. Now, as far as the weigh-ins go, Hector Luis Garcia came in on the scale at 134 pounds on the 134 pounds even, guys. Gervonta Tank Davis, he also came in at 134 pounds. So both of the guys made weight. They look like they made it pretty easily. They both look like they were in excellent shape. So this ought to be a great fight. I noticed at the face-off, though, they did keep those two apart. Probably because of the situation that went on at the final presser, where Gervonta Tank Davis, put his paws on Hector Luis Garcia. And I think a lot of that had to do with the Facebook post that Hector Luis Garcia made, likening him and some of the other fighters to criminals, in a picture where Hector was in a suit and all the other guys were dressed, all the other fighters were dressed in their street clothes, and it didn't sit well with Gervonta Tank Davis, and he did express his frustration with that. So I think that's why the situation happened the way it did yesterday at the final presser. Now, guys, I want to give my prediction on the fight. But first, I want to take a closer look at Hector Luis Garcia, because a lot of people may not be familiar with him. I even hear a lot of people saying that he's a cherry pick from Gervonta Tank Davis. And honestly, guys, if you've never seen the guy fight, he's definitely not a cherry pick. This is definitely going to be a tough fight, in my opinion, for Gervonta Tank Davis. Hector Luis Garcia, 16-0. I think he has 10 KOs. He's an Olympian. And, he's coming off the two best fights of his career. One against Little B-Hop, where he upset the apple cart there, where he wasn't supposed to win that fight. And then he got a win over the former WBA super featherweight champion, Roger Gutierrez, where he snatched that title away. And now, of course, he's moving up to 135 to face off against Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, he is the taller, rangier fighter. They have him on BoxRec at 5'9". He looks more like 5'8" to me. Of course, like I said, he's the rangier guy. He's a southpaw, so he does take away that advantage from Gervonta Tank Davis, and he does like to throw a lot of combinations, and he does have respectable power, and he's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter, guys, and I think, he'll be a tough nut to crack come fight time. But we know what Gervonta Tank Davis brings to the table. He's the guy with the one-hitter quitter. Not only that, he has a good boxing IQ, in my opinion, and he loves to set traps. So I think, in my opinion, I'm going to have to give the edge to Gervonta Tank Davis. He is the more experienced of the two when it comes to the fights. And I just think that his power will carry over. If Hector Luis Garcia makes a mistake, Gervonta Tank Davis is definitely going to capitalize off of that. And he does have the power to put your lights out. And, he does have a point to prove. He's just left Mayweather Promotions. He's doing his own thing. He had the situation going on with his baby mom, and this situation with Hector that kind of put him, in a funk. So I think he wants to go in there. I think he wants to try to steamroll Hector Luis Garcia and get him up out of there. But I don't think it'll be that easy. I think Gervonta Tank Davis probably will get the knockout, but I think it'll happen in the later rounds. I'm going to say probably around round 8, he might get Hector out of there. But I think at the beginning of the fight, it's going to be tough for Gervonta Tank Davis to make adjustments to Hector Luis Garcia's fighting style. But we'll see, guys. You tell me what you think about this upcoming fight. Who do you have tomorrow night? Hector Luis Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis. Do you think there'll be a knockout if Gervonta wins, or do you think Hector is going to put on a boxing clinic tomorrow night? You guys let me know in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.